Okay. Hey, welcome everyone to For Amusement Only Games initial stream. This is Drained. This is a game that I designed, and this is a game that I manufacture right here at Build RVA, which is a makerspace here in Richmond, Virginia. So I wanted to have these streams here and highlight some of the cool games and content that are available on the P3 platform. For the initial stream, I thought, what better choice than a game that I have developed and designed myself. Hopefully, this all looks and sounds good to you. I have only done testing here locally, and so if anything sounds real rough or anything, just let me know. All right, here we go. Let's play a game, shall we?
Back again.
All right, we've made it to Board's Castle. So the goal of this game, you might see Slay and Vamp targets highlighted up there. They're flashing. If I hit those targets, I wake up the vampire, which is sleeping in this coffin here. Now, the character that I am playing is highlighted by the insert, the yellow insert, which is spinning here. And it will flip back and forth as I play, depending on the targets that I hit. And it'll change the voiceovers, the voice actor, which is commenting upon the gameplay. But as I say, I want to wake up this vampire, hit those two targets, and away we go. All right, here it comes. Right down the middle. Always good. Let's try again. Ball saved. And on the left side this time. And down. All right, hit the vamp target, which is on the right. And as I'm completing these side targets,
Kindred spirit, I see.
you'll see rats and spiders come out. Now, thankfully,
whatever.
a very short ball save. Here we go. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Welcome.
Great. These are falling.
Got the bell going here. All right. One of my favorite shots to make in this game is something that Kevin encouraged me to develop quite a bit in the beta testing period, which is shooting into the side of these scoops when they're raised. So now that the vampire is awake, the coffin lid will raise and lower on a time basis. But here, I've demolished the vampire. So now that I've hit that hole, it has slain the vampire. Unfortunately for me, I still die. It's a gobble hole. This game is the first game since 1964, I believe, to have a gobble hole.
Back again.
And it's very exciting. So you hit it often when you don't need it, and when you do need it, once you've built up that value, once you've awakened that vampire, it's super rewarding, but it's very challenging to hit when you actually need it. All right, here we go. Coming out the right side. And you might notice all these targets which are arrayed around the playfield. The different targets are set up as different tools within the game.
It's easiest to
And
light
you're
fire
collecting
with fire.
these tools
Cut you down to size.
in an attempt to make it easier to slay the vampire. Didn't collect enough, obviously, but that's okay. All right, so we're on ball 2 out of 5. On the back glass,
Where did this
which you can
castle
see
come
actually
from?
down in the bottom there, it shows you which ball that we're on, current score, and also the icons in red are vampires which are currently slain. The ones which are blinking are the vampire that we're currently battling or about to do battle with. Right now they're asleep. So again, Slay and Vamp, we'll wake them up. Here we go. And target spotted. So that's another feature in this game, right in the gobble hole. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Kevin. Thanks for stopping in. And extra appreciated since you're on the road. All right.
Great. A spooky castle.
Here we are in Harry's castle. Now, each vampire, when they wake up, This is actually a separate mode in the game. Unfortunately. It's a separate mode in the game, so each vampire mode has different shots that you need to complete. When you complete the shots in the mode, it will let you know how many more shots are remaining in the mode, but most importantly, it increases the light which is available on the playfield and the light which is
They remind me of a cousin I have.
available to potentially injure the vampire. Alright, here we go. Now, in Harry's mode, very unfortunate. In Harry's mode, what you're trying to do is land back in the place where the ball shoots out of. Pretty challenging again when you need it. When you don't need it, you find yourself in there pretty frequently. Alright, here we go. Friendly's Castle. I'm going to launch from the left this time. Now, in order to do that, this is like skill shot on many games, super skill shot. You hold down the left flipper, and the ball will launch out the left side. Alright, you may notice the lamps which are moving in the back of the playfield occasionally. They'll be purple or green,
I can't stop coughing.
and those are different combo types. Whoop. There we go. I squished the spider. That's good. End of game. They can hear it. Alright. So that's game one. Less than 100,000. I can do better than that. Look at that. I score 880,000. Surely I can make it happen. Let's try.
Back again.
Friendly's Castle. Again, we are going to try to hit Slay and Vamp in order. 2. Awaken. The old vampire here.
The stakes continue to increase.
Oh, I don't think I finished explaining. But the green and the purple are different combo systems. So each combo consists of 6 different shots, and the lights on the playfield will track back and forth
Where did this
to let you
castle
know
come from?
what your next shot is going to be and where on the playfield. So it draws your eyes a bit as it is running. Right in the gobble hole. Fantastic. Ball 2. Alright. I think I can hit 880,000 on this game. Unclear to me.
Great. A spooky castle.
Maybe I just need to believe in myself, though. Ball saved. Here it comes. Gobble, gobble. Game ago, thanks for joining.
Why so cryptic?
Alright. What's gonna happen here? We got rats. We got spiders. Whoop. We have flippers. Just have to use them. Okay. That single rat got rocked.
I'm back.
So that's good.
Did you miss me?
Alright. Surly's Castle. This is ball 4 out of 5. So, again, 880,000. Seems a bit out of reach at this time. Could be wrong. I'm just saving everything for the last ball in play. Alright,
Back again.
here we go, Speedy. Again, I'm launching from the left by holding the left flipper up. And in this case, I want to hit Slay and Vamp. Sounds very straightforward.
This one is moving super
Can
fast.
be very challenging. Okay,
Oh, wait.
I've completed a mode shot in Speedy's mode. The targets which are in the front bank here are the most important ones. You may also notice that bonus multiplier notice that I got. That is because I hit the pop bumper 5 times in a row. Or 5 times on this ball, I should say. Okay, one more shot, and the vampire's mode is completed. But again, you actually have to hit the ball with it. So, my nemesis, but I did get a 2x playfield multiplier, so I feel pretty good about that. 60,000, much less than the 880,000 that I was trying to achieve. Let's see if I can do it this time, though.
Where did this castle come
Okay,
from?
we're here, Panicky's Castle. This time, we're coming out the right side. Okay, come on down. Yes. Now, one of the things
Watch for broken
that
glass.
I wanted from this playfield was to make it so that no shot, no launch was totally safe. You're always on your toes. In some cases, the bounce and the spin
Great.
is just so to make it
Spooky
so that
castle.
it lands on your flipper, but it doesn't have to. And nudging skills are very helpful here. As the first stream that I'm doing here with this equipment, I'm a little hesitant to move the game around a whole lot, but hopefully I'll loosen up here as time passes. Alright,
Higher the stakes, the
Exactly.
happier I am.
K-Wit in the combo, and I lost it by hitting that K shot. Alright. Slay has been hit.
I'm selling
And now
pinball
Vamp is hit.
machines
Now,
door to
there's
door.
a very short
This
ball
casket
save
was
which comes
only
on
$10.
immediately after starting a vampire battle.
Take that.
Ta-da! For once, I hit a shot I was intending to. Thank you. Welcome, Homie Steam. Very good to see you. And I agree, the music does slap. Unfortunately, even on a successful vampire slaying, you hit the gobble hole, the vampire kills you. Vampires are
again.
dangerous. Don't want to be tangoing with them more than you have to. And unfortunately, there's no escape from the vampire's castle. Okay, here we are. Now, you've seen successful
Anything
and
can be a
unsuccessful
stake
vampire
with enough
slaying.
determination.
But what I haven't shown you is a lot more about this item collection. So we've got... Thank you. Let's see if we can adjust that real quick. Appreciate it. Okay, tried cranking that
I'm
down
back.
a little bit.
Did you miss me?
Is that any better, or is it exactly the same? Which it might be. Let's find
With
out.
enough determination,
Is the game
anything
music
can be a stake.
super loud? It's time to find out. Okay, ball save. Thankfully. Alright, gave it a good old nudge there. And
Blowing the distance. Get it.
the bells are ringing. The bats, unfortunately, got me. It's a high-stress situation when the bat appears on the playfield. You have to roll over. It's imperative.
Great. Spooky castle.
When I made this game, I wanted that event, that hurry-up, to be just the right mixture of... Nice. Just the right mixture of stressful and rewarding. So, I really like the very simple light show that happens while the bat is on the screen. And here we go.
Back again.
Back again. So we're in Board's Castle this time. Let's see what we can do. Right in the gobble hole. Fantastic. I'm having quite the run tonight. That's okay though.
I'm
This is a
back.
5-ball game
you
by
miss me?
default.
Anything can be a stake with enough
We
determination.
are battling friendly at the moment. Each vampire. Whoa. Okay, ball save. Each vampire has their own special. There we go. So the background for each castle is different. The question was that bad? The answer is, I was playing, so of course it was. It was terrible. Ran right into the gobble hole. That's not what you want to do. So the idea with any gobble hole game, and Drained included, is that you want to build that gobble hole value as high as possible before cashing in at the gobble hole. So the cashing in phase of Drained is really after you start the vampire battle. That requires diligence. You got to hit these two targets, which are right beside the gobble hole itself. But also, you want to build up that value as much as possible. So that requires collecting items. It requires completing the vampire's mode, all 6 shots of the vampire's mode, and then hitting the gobble at precisely the right time to collect the highest amount possible. It is possible to continue to grow the gobble hole as you play, but it gets increasingly difficult. The pressure to do so really starts to mount. All right, left side. Let's go. Okay, got a good post hit in there.
Sufficiently stabby.
And ball save. Thankful. Alright. Come on down. Hitting that cave shot is primarily used during the combo mode. So each combo sequence, I mentioned there's 2 different ones, a green and a purple one. I got over to Bat Town just in time for it to disappear. So yeah, the cave shots are primarily used. They award us a small amount of points, but primarily they're used for the combos. All right, question in chat. What was the last production pin to have a gobble hole prior to Drained? It's a great question. It was Williams San Francisco, which I believe was 1964. This came out after Gottlieb's Sweethearts, which was their last gobble hole game. And gobble holes are extremely challenging and rewarding. As a mechanic, I find them so interesting for gameplay. Many games from Gottlieb had a scenario where you would build up that gobble hole value and you would cash it in for a dozen replays or more, just an incredible amount. And that's such a great feeling. And so with Drained, I wanted to replicate those kind of feelings, those kind of experiences, which haven't been seen in modern pinball in the same way for quite some time. All right, so I'm in a vampire battle now with Sparkles. You can see the particle effects that the vampire has now that he's awake. He is on the playfield, and I need to complete their mode by hitting specific targets. In this case, it's the R target and E, K and S. So I've already completed G and A and E. So the targets are garlic and steaks, the target sets. Quackadoodle Sally, you're right. How did I forget? All right, here we go. Things are looking up here. All right, one more hit needed to get a stakes completion, and I just completed the vampire mode. Now, if I can get stakes completed, I can get a second ball on the playfield. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Thanks very much.
I promise that this will be the last time you'll see me.
So Williams skill pool, and you played it in a tournament, and it had a gobble hole. Williams' use of the gobble hole was also really interesting and very rewarding. It was a bit of a different design philosophy than Gottlieb's. So towards the end
again.
towards the middle of Gottlieb's use of the gobble hole, they started experimenting with a ton of different gobble holes on the playfield. Very close to the flipper, very easy to hit accidentally. And Williams was more focused on the intentional build-up and reward throughout their production of gobble hole games. And so I find them very interesting and compelling to play. Okay, question is, what do the vampire eyes represent? First of all, they look really cool. But also, they spell holy and water. So those are the targets which are in the vampire's
I'm waiting
mouth.
for you to launch the
And
ball.
I'm noticing that this camera is autofocusing in a weird way. Let's see if I can get that dialed in a little better. There we go. So you can see on the backboard there it says holy water. Bonus score sounds override your voice. Thank you. I will keep that in mind and not talk as much during the bonus countdown. Okay. Here we go. So, I mentioned briefly in the last ball that
The happier I am.
completing the word stakes on the right side actually gives you a second ball in play.
Have I got a deal for you?
I can't afford to donate to your cause.
And so one of the goals that I have for this ball is to see if I can complete that. Probably not. Whoop. Here we go. Almost. Nope. All right. One target left.
I don't want to
And
in this casket.
getting the side of those scoops. So very satisfying.
Get that back.
Got a bat accidentally. All right. And nope. So another goal with Drain is that there are some games where I find it is extremely advantageous to play by trapping up, so by holding the ball on a flipper. You can do that in Drain, but you forfeit a lot of benefit of collecting different items on the playfield when you do so. Vampire killed me. What are you gonna do? Probably shouldn't be nothing. Probably shouldn't be messing with vampires. All right, 164. That's way better than the 66 or whatever thousand that I had last time. But our goal is 880,000. So got to do better. I'm going to play this next game, and then I'm going to enable a special feature that's unique to the P3 in production pinball machines. So, and then you all can really mess with me as I play. All right, here we go. We're going to launch this ball, and we are battling Stingy again. But first, we're battling the Drain. Now we're battling the Gobble Hole. All right.
Where did this castle come from?
What's one of the highest scores that I've seen on Drain? A few million. It requires quite a bit of concentration to achieve, but it is quite doable. And you can do it a few different ways. Obviously, a few million,
Back
not going to
again.
happen this game. But I can always dream. All right, I'm at 8,100 points. Very close to a million. And multiple millions, even closer. All right. So again, I'm going to try to get stakes, but you know what helps with that is actually hitting those targets. All right. Got the elusive second S. And in the right area. This is a production cowball. So this one has been on location here at Build RVA.
All vampires aren't happy.
Oh, nice. Ball save. This one's been on location here at Build RVA on free play for a couple of years now.
Ooh.
And this is my own copy, my own production copy that I made myself. And the people here at Build, which is a makerspace here in Richmond, Virginia, where I have my little manufacturing space,
Get that back.
can turn this on and play it whenever they feel like. It's a really supportive and cool community, and I have really enjoyed being a part of Build RVA. Down I go.
Where did this castle come from?
One moment. Be right back. Just answered. All right. Question answered. Here we are. Numerology. All right, on this game, I have currently set white
I have
buttons
mine decaffeinated.
move the lit in lanes and out lanes. So
Touche.
they act as your lane change. However, there is a software option which allows you to set those to the red buttons as well. So if you prefer that, that option is available.
Back again.
Okay, here we are. You know, I noticed this is zoomed in just a hair too far. So I'm going to try and poke this. We'll see what kind of problems that causes shortly. Okay, here we go. Yes, the walls and the scoops are protecting the gobble hole. It is potentially good for the player, but actually it's the way that the vampire fights back against the player. So when the walls and scoops are raised, it blocks the gobble hole and prevents you from slaying the vampire. Additionally, if you were to hit those walls and scoops while they're raised, your ball careens off of it at angles which are much sharper than they would be
Are not
if it
what I
made
would
it to the
expect.
top of the playfield. So it is dangerous, but on the other hand, it can redirect your ball if you're making a really bad shot in a way that's advantageous. The other advantage that the walls and scoops provide is if you're able to shoot a ball into the side of the walls and scoops, it will spot a shot in the vampire mode. This is easier said than done, but very cool when it happens. So in this case, almost.
Get that back.
All right. Got that back. And again, I would love some stakes. Or to slay this vampire. One or the other. So you may notice on the playfield there are these circular inserts. They're virtual, of course. They're displayed on the playfield LCD. There's an LCD that the ball is rolling across. And those inserts will help you determine how far you are into completing any of the given sequences on the playfield. There's 7 different sequences. You have garlic on the left. Completing garlic will spot a target in any target bank. Mirror, completing enough rounds of mirror it gives you points, but completing enough of any of these actually spots a shot when you start the vampire battle. So it behooves you to collect as many of these items as possible before starting that vampire battle, before waking them up by hitting Slay and Vamp. Stakes, when you complete that, it will give you a second ball in play, a really huge advantage, and you can use that to slay a vampire, start another vampire battle, and then slay that other secondary vampire as well. This is huge as far as points and potential for being able to really bump up those scores. And there's a progressive or a continuous bonus feature that's enabled with the completion of these vampire battles and slaying of the vampires. So the more you slay, the better you do. Holy Water is another one of the sequences. When you complete Holy Water, it will increase your bonus multiplier. As many times as you're able to complete Holy Water up to the operator setting, that's how many bonus multipliers you get at the end of the ball. And those are accrued whether you drain, or whether you hit the gobble hole, or whether you hit a completed vampire battle, the gobble hole to slay the vampire. Flaming Sword, Flaming Torch, Silver Sword, and then Slay Vamp are the other sequences. Slay Vamp we've already been over. Flaming Torch and Silver Sword are relatively safe sequences that you can really start stacking in order to achieve those spotted shots once you start the vampire battle. All right, now that we've played through several games, let's enable a feature called Twitch Connect. Now, Twitch Connect is something that is unique to the P3 as far as production pinball goes, and it enables you all to mess with me as we play. So we want that on, and we want to do that, and I believe, do I need, since I don't have bits on my channel, this is a preview here of what you can do. Okay, let's turn that on so that I can see it. Now you're going to see an overlay on the play field right about here. It's pretty mild, like it shouldn't really cause any problem during the stream here, but you may see some words on the screen. That's what that is. So it enables me to see what people are doing to mess with me. It's a little heads up. All right, here we go. Now, what's going to happen is that the chat on Twitch specifically is going to let you know, hey, you can mess with the streamer, and here's all the different ways you can do that. All right, one other thing I needed to do. Okay, that is done. So now, let's begin.
Where did this castle come from?
Okay. Should have received an announcement. Oh, fantastic. Inverted flippers. Immediately played. I believe my settings are incorrect.
Who left these here?
Because it did everything all at once, which I don't believe is correct. Twitch gameplay. All right, and I think, make sure, Twitch affiliate partner. Yep. Okay. Let's try that a second time, shall we? All right.
Back again.
Oh, it will announce in Twitch what you can do to destroy the game. Alright, so at this point you just type in chat any of the words which are indicated on Twitch, and it will do that thing. You can do things like increase the amount of tilts that I have, so you can add a tilt warning. You can take a tilt warning away.
Get it!
You can spot a shot on the playfield.
Where did this castle
You can
come
call a
from?
bat. You can turn off the playfield screen. You can invert the flippers. A wide variety of things you can do to help or hinder. Oh, perhaps I don't have the
Great.
bot turned
A
on.
spooky
Let's find out.
castle.
Looks like it. Enabled, yeah. And I see it on my side. This could be due to the way that I have federated streaming set up. There might be an additional delay in there, or maybe chatbots don't work. Not sure. Anyway, I will get that fixed in time for the next stream for sure. I'll go ahead and turn off my chat window. And if you're able to see it, fantastic. If you're not, that's okay. It'll be there next time, and you'll get to mess with me soon. All right, that autofocus did its thing again, so let's get a little closer. There we go.
Back again.
Okay. Here we are. Thanks for the question.
Feel like a hat.
It is. Hey, all right, right off the bat. It's posting to the new channel that I have here set up. Excellent question, though. And I have restarted the app since changing all my login info. All right, so I got 7,500
A
points
spooky castle.
for slaying that vampire. Now I'm at 29,101. The last digit of the score indicates how many vampires you've slain. Your goal for the whole game is to slay a vampire with each ball that you've been awarded to play. Easier said than done. All right, we've got TAK.
This smell is atrocious.
Thank you. The comment was that I love the last digit idea. I absolutely cannot take credit for that one. That is a feature that was popularized by Scott Denisi in Total Nuclear Annihilation, and he's since used it in other games of his, but I really like that feature as a way to measure progression. And so I placed it in Drained as an homage.
I'm back! Did you miss me?
All right, here we are, Friendly's Castle. There's 17 different voice actors in Drain, which have provided thousands of lines.
Broken glass everywhere.
Almost 2,000, I believe. I have the number
It's easiest to light fire with fire.
somewhere, but not on me. All right.
A flying rat!
So the bat can appear in one of 3 different positions. Gobbled. Depending on their placement. It often
Great. A spooky
behooves you
castle.
not to shoot for the bat, but if you do, it is rewarding. It's just a little dangerous. Okay. Flaming torch, silver sword. So you might see
A flying rat!
these little progress bars on the playfield or on the back glass. And those indicate how many of each of these specific sequences I need to complete in order to spot a shot during the vampire mode. So what I'm doing right now, well, aside from losing the ball,
I'm
is
back.
attempting to
Did you
acquire
miss me?
enough of each item before starting the vampire mode. So I've got a couple different things I'm going for right now. One is completing stakes and getting that second ball into play. The second is trying to acquire as many of each tool as possible. Time.
Hot!
Gamma Goat is Ian Harrower of Ian Harrower Games, and he was mentioning in chat his Playdate game, Time Flies Like an Arrow. That's an excellent, fun, and funny game that I just talked about on the Hello Playdate podcast. Look at that, 95,000, amazing. Not really. Okay, let's go again.
I'm back. Did you miss me?
All right, here we go. Right in the gobble hole, right away. That's how I like to start the game. Just sneak up on it a little bit. And
Great. A spooky
here
castle.
we are in Tacky's Castle. So I need to, I have been remiss in talking about the art for this game. The artist for Drain, who completed every piece of artwork, digital and physical, was Molly Baldridge, my partner, and she
With enough
was tasked with creating
anything can be a stake.
a cohesive game world that was done in the style of Edward Gorey's pen and ink drawings. This was a monumental task, and I am so pleased with all the artwork that you did. You can't see the sides of the cabinet right here, but it is astonishing. It's really, really... Let me get that bat. All right. So, right in the gobble hole. Fantastic.
Where did this castle come from?
Thanks very much. Appreciate you joining Call Me Steam, and talk to you soon. All right. I've hit 2 gobble holes so far. Now, the game actually does have a high score table that tracks how many gobble holes you hit. So if you are gobbled every ball, you're likely going to hit the high score table. Now, you can have up to 10 balls, depending on how many times you complete stakes, over on the right side of the playfield. So again, let's try that. Let's see if we can complete stakes. Now, stakes is meant to be a particular challenge. You can complete it a couple different ways. You can complete it by hitting the targets themselves. And as you can see, I've got 3 of them complete. You can also complete it by spotting the targets. So, target spotting comes into play a couple different ways.
Breaking mirrors is definitely something I can see myself doing.
If you complete the word garlic on the left, it spots a target. If you complete the lanes here where it spells the word spot, you get a target. But the last and most frequent
Scared. I mean, aside from the story.
is likely to be completing the side targets. I've only got one. Oh my. Nope. A bummer.
Back again.
Thanks very much, Ian. I agree, it was extremely time consuming. Molly happens to be here right now, and she's nodding in agreement. All right. Here we go again.
Now I can mince some garlic.
Ball's been saved. But can I save it?
Breaking mirrors is definitely something I can see myself
Here
doing.
we go. Whoop.
I'm back.
Always
Did
a
you miss
challenge.
me?
Do I go for the bat or not? Sometimes the answer is no. All right, holding the left flipper, let's come out the left side, and I'm hoping that'll give me a good clean shot to the right side. Not in this instance. Things are gonna get wild. So, one of the neat things about the way this is designed, and I mentioned this briefly earlier, but I wanted to make it so that there weren't safe returns. So once the ball is launched, there's no guarantee that you're going to touch it with a flipper unless you're paying attention. That sounds worse than it is, because the majority of the time it returns right to a flipper. But it is possible for the ball to have a goodly amount of spin coming out of that launcher, or a goodly amount of spin is placed upon it by hitting one of those upper wing slings, or by hitting the pop bumper. Right. Getting more adventurous, hitting the game a little bit. Okay. That was the last ball. All right, 2 more, and then we've got to roll. But let's go one more here,
A spooky castle.
and then let's see if I can make something happen. Ball save.
Oh, it's me.
Okay. So as you can see, when that ball was saved, it did come to the flipper. You do have more than an opportunity to save your ball, but you do have to be paying attention. The majority of games that are made today tend to have really safe returns, which appeals to a certain type of player. And I enjoy that sometimes, but I also enjoy having a bit of danger.
I'm back. Did you
Really,
miss
the
me?
safest danger there is a way to put a pinball in jeopardy. Okay. So stakes, I've got K, and I in garlic. And again, you can see on the playfield the inserts appear.
Blowing the distance.
You can also see me move the ball.
Great. A spooky castle.
Ball 3.
Let's not. And slay we did.
Okay. Something which I didn't talk about were the rules focused around the pop bumper. The pop bumper in Drained is very important. It's used in some vampire modes, but the primary use of the pop bumper is to increase your playfield multiplier. So hitting the pop bumper 5 times.
Where did this castle
Hitting
come
the pop
from?
bumper 5 times will increment your playfield multiplier, again up to the maximum set by the operator. In that way, you can really finesse the scores if you're good at hitting the pop bumper. The way it's designed, it's very easy to overshoot and make an orbit. And the game does keep track of orbits, despite the lack of orbit switches. There are certain criteria have to be met. Or undershoot, and if you undershoot, you're going to hit the top of the bat plastic there in the center.
Press the launch button.
This is usually not what you want. Often it will redirect the ball into one of the launchers and then relaunch. So you wind up with a much less controlled
Slay it like you mean it.
route that your ball is taking. Okay, here we go.
Time to torch someone a
Got it.
lesson. Get it! Kaboom!
I mentioned early in the stream that the lit slings indicate which character is going to be speaking. That's the character that you're controlling right now. But they also do something else. So if you hit a lit sling, it scores 1,000 points, which is
Nothing
good
like a
points in this
smelly
game.
vegetable.
If you hit an unlit sling, it scores 100 points. In either case, when you hit the slings, it will move the lit sling. And this again harkens back
What's that attitude?
to the rule sets for older games, where you'd have a roving insert.
Anything can be a
Alright,
stake.
we have
with
S and
enough
A.
determination.
That's all we need. Complete stakes.
Yow, hot!
Things were looking good.
Great. A spooky castle.
Last ball of the next to last game. Tacky was a fun vampire concept to put together. Molly, the artist, created all of the environmental artwork off of a series of descriptions that I gave her for the different vampires. That was a rough last ball. In some instances, we worked together to come up with the different vampires, and she created some of them from scratch. There's 15 different vampires in the game, and so each one has some unique characteristic. That's kind of the idea. Tacky, the light shows for each of the vampires in their mode follow kind of their characteristic. So Tacky, the lights are flashing at a really weird, irregular rate, and they're all different colors. Things of that nature. It was really fun to come up with all these different ways that you interact with these vampire modes. Okay, last game of the evening. Let's go.
Back again.
Here we are, Chef's Castle. It was interesting working with the voice actors on this game. I mentioned there's 17 different voice actors. Each of them had a specific means of speaking in their demo reels that I really enjoyed.
I'm
and I
back.
thought it would mesh with the
Did you
different
miss me?
vampire personalities. The chef vampire in particular, I really like the timbre of his voice. There were a couple vampires that had really low registers, and that was more of a challenge to mix with the game audio than I initially thought it would be. I've worked with voice actors in the past who have a low timbre, and it just totally depends on the other audio in the game as to how much that will interact and create odd issues with the sound, like the
Hey, press
what
the launch button.
overrides other things and how you're able to perceive it when it's playing from the game. And that's another interesting thing, is that you may not be able to perceive it in play testing in a simulator. Only on the actual physical device will you hear kind of that quirk that I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, here we go. Ball 2. 3,900 points. Let's see if we can get to 10,000.
Wait to stake
Oh,
some
already
vase.
made it. Well, look at me go. And right down the drain. Decisions. Things are looking rough here. Ball 2. Do I start the vampire battle and try to slay them so that I can start accruing those sweet, sweet bonus points? Or do I try to complete stakes?
Quick,
Or
hit the
do I
bat.
start the vampire battle and then go for stakes? A challenge. Let's try not in the gobble hole. That would be bad. Tried it twice.
Been selling pinball machines door to door.
I can't afford to donate to your cause.
So you may or may not notice the spiders and rats which are crawling across the screen. As you complete the side targets, it will fire off. Whoop. That was much faster than anticipated. It will send out some spiders and rats. And
Back again.
you can roll over them to squish them, basically. And then they add to your bonus at the end of the ball. The other thing that happens on the screen, aside from the bats, the spiders, and the rats, are these moons which appear in the end lanes, above the end lanes. You may have noticed those going, and they roll through a whole set of phases of the moon. So it goes all the way to the new moon, and then it disappears. If you're able to roll back up the end lane in order to roll over those, you can achieve 800 points a time. And you can actually alley
I'm
pass
waiting
back
for you
and
to
forth
launch the ball.
in order to acquire more and more points. But it is very challenging with the geometry of the lower playfield to do that consistently. At least it is for me. And I haven't seen anybody doing that on stream, at least, and they haven't mentioned it to me, so that it's something that they are able to do all the time. So I feel like that is pretty fair. There's also a way to achieve it without alley passing, which is to go over the top like that. That's tricky to do intentionally. Really tricky. Alright, so we've talked about orbits, we've talked about combos, we've talked about vampire modes, we've talked about collecting items. But you know, one thing that we haven't talked about is sweepable drop targets. That's a feature that I really like, and it's a feature that Drain has. Each of the sets of drop targets, which are located up in the top, they're mirrored, and they are the vampire hunting tool of a mirror. Each of those sets can be swept, given the appropriate shot. And when you do, you get a special award.
Leave it alone.
Alright. Get a little P3 pass there. Kicked it from side to side. This is the chef. All I need is the one S. And steaks. At the top. Not that side. Here we go. There we go. What better game than the last one of the evening, and right down the drain and win. So since I'm in a vampire battle, it's actually safe for me to hit the gobble hole. Like that. And here I am in Board's Castle. Can I capitalize? One of the cool things is that the items carry over. So if you look down on the monitor down below me, you can see that the progress bars are filled in for the flaming torches and the stakes. And if I were to start the vampire battle now, it would automatically use those tools to injure the vampire. So it would spot 2 of the mode shots for that vampire. So it behooves you to collect stakes with each ball, if you're able to, which obviously I am not. Alright, here we go. Almost went right in the gobble hole. And we have Slay and Vamp are lit. Okay, this Vamp. Okay. Another thing to note, based on the number of each item that you've collected.
Yeah, whatever.
Whoop, let it go.
Great. These are falling.
I'm back! Did you miss me?
So, as you can see, that bonus was very lucrative, and the reason is that I was able to complete stakes, collect so many tools, and slay 1 vampire during that. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to slay the second one with that ball, but all is well. I've already neared the highest score that I've achieved on stream tonight. So, we're on ball 4 of the last game. Anything could happen. Whoop, whoop. Save.
The higher the stakes, the happier I am. Get that good fight like a dairy farm.
Quite a lot of orbits this game. Alright, I only need the letter E in stakes in order
Stakes are
to
getting raised.
get that second ball in play.
Get that back.
Can I do it?
This one is moving super fast.
Oh no. That was
Back again.
that carryover bonus doing a lot of work of that last ball. Okay. Here we go. Last ball of the evening.
Steaks and eggs. Oh, now I'm hungry.
And I believe
Welcome. I've got
this is going to be the one. Right? We complete this vampire's mode. It was not to be. Ooh. Got a high score. I made 10 orbit shots. From left to right. Alright, I wanted to... Thanks very much. Put that up there and just let you know if you're interested in this game that you've seen tonight. Thanks very much for joining me and listening to this initial stream from For Amusement Only Games. I'm planning to do this on essentially a bi-weekly cadence, and I'll be showcasing all the different wonderful content that's available on the P3 platform, which is manufactured by Multimorphic. Drained is a game that I manufacture here in Richmond, Virginia, right at Build RVA, inches away from where I'm actually streaming. And Drained is available today, no wait, purchase and ship. And it is the back third, it's the playfield module that slides in back here. So you have to have the P3 base cabinet in order to play it. But it is readily available, and you can visit drainedpinball.com to learn more. Thanks very much again, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future.